What's up everyone? Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Today we're taking a look at Vechain and its recent price action, along with some talk about news and fundamentals, and with a price prediction for the short and the long term as well. Before we begin, we'd just like to say thank you so much to everyone for their continued support, the likes and subscribers, Patreon and YouTube members, and all your amazing comments and sharing. We appreciate you all so much at the channel, and we've been growing incredibly fast recently, so thank you to all of you. Our community has been growing amazingly well recently. It's all down to you guys, so thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any videos, and turn on bell notifications as well. We're posting 4 videos per day, so come back every day for daily updates and analysis. In any instance, you can sign up to our free Telegram via the description as well. This is not financial advice. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. So we're taking another look at Vechain today, guys. We do get asked about doing Vechain videos pretty much every single day by a large amount of people, so we are keeping the daily updates for Vechain going at the minute. Just taking a look at the 4-hour chart here so we can get a bit more perspective about where we are, because I think this is important. When you see a recent downturn in the market like we have, which seemed to be obvious market manipulation when Bitcoin was at a point of weakness and we saw a large capitulation, but it seems as though we've actually recovered pretty much all of the losses that we've seen. We're back at around 41k for Bitcoin, so it's kind of interesting to see how quickly that recovered. And it does seem to, the more and more research we do about this dump, it does seem as though it does scream of market manipulation. I think there were quite literally billions of dollars of Bitcoin dumped on the market at once at a point of weakness the other day, when Bitcoin was at around 43 to 42k, and it did lead to a large capitulation in the price of Bitcoin, which is absolutely insane. And it does show that the market can be moved by these huge whales, and it's important to remember that it's a very volatile market that we're in here. Cryptocurrency is amazing, but obviously things can come down as quickly as they can come up. We've been talking for a long time about how this parabolic move up for Vechain would not be sustainable, and we thought that this correction to the downside was very healthy. Obviously we did see it pulling back up, but the extra dump that we've seen in the market over the past few days has led Vechain down to very much lower valuations than we anticipated. But obviously you can't account for market manipulation and these kinds of crazy amounts of FUD that have been coming out recently. But as we were saying, we would like to reiterate that it's important to get a sense of perspective at times like this, and the when in doubt zoom out slogan really does hold a lot of value. Obviously, as we can see, Vechain had a huge run up, and it did run up as high as 28 cents. And it did actually correct down, if my thing will work. It did correct down around 82% all the way down to here, which we would consider to be absolute capitulation. And in any normal circumstances, we would probably say that this would be the beginning of a bear market. But considering how and why this happened, from what we can tell with obvious manipulation of the market, we are still quite bullish. And as we can see, we have recovered quite well. We're currently trading at around 12.5 cents again. And there seems to be a huge amount of demand, anywhere below 10 cents for Vechain currently. So anywhere in this area here, we've seen a huge amount of demand. We can see that Vechain wicked all the way back up to around 11 or 12 cents here. And since then, the price has been holding fairly well. Currently, it remains to be seen what's going to be happening with Vechain, because it seems as though the entire market is being heavily led by Bitcoin currently. So everyone's kind of uncertain about what's going to happen. But from what we've seen, there's been a really low amount of volume for the past few days, which tends to suggest that a lot of people are just taking a break from whatever's going on, and there's just not a large amount of trading going on in general, at least in comparison to the huge capitulation that we saw a few days ago. And it seems likely to us that this does scream of market manipulation. You can quite clearly tell that there was a massive coordinated attempt to dump the market when Bitcoin was in a position of weakness. And it's interesting to see that Bitcoin has now bounced back to virtually the levels that it was just before that dump. Obviously, altcoins have actually dumped and not corrected as much, because altcoins shed a lot more of their value than Bitcoin did. Obviously, because many people consider them to be more speculative. As we can see, we were holding strong at this level that we were outlining a lot. Below 15 cents, there was a huge amount of buying pressure for Vechain. But obviously with the huge capitulation here, it has moved the bar down quite significantly. But we do think anywhere under 10 cents here is a very strong resistance for Vechain, and we can't imagine it going below this. But obviously, It remains to be seen what's going to happen with the wider market because Bitcoin is leading it quite heavily. But we would like to just basically calm everyone's fears and alleviate some of the tension that people are likely feeling at this current time, just by taking a bit of a zoomed out look at Vechain and seeing that, yeah, it did have a huge run up and then a huge correction. But we're currently in a bullish trend. It's quite obvious from this blue line here that we're still on a very bullish trend. As we can see, basically since the start of the year, if we take a look at January the 1st, for example, which is around here, Vechain was around 2 cents. So even from there, we're still actually up around a 5x, which is really good considering all the market volatility that we've seen recently. And if you take a look at this blue trend line that we've drawn here, which has quite a few touching points, we did come down and wick against this and then move to the upside. So if you take this into account, we can imagine that Vechain is going to be moving up again in the future. Obviously, it's so difficult to know what's going to happen currently. We really need to see what's going to happen with Bitcoin, but we are still bullish on the bull market in general. And we do think that Vechain is still going to perform very well this year. As we said, these are the times where you really want to be, not financial advice, of course, in quality coins that have actual use case and actual real world adoption, because they're going to be protected more in the long term from these kinds of market manipulations. There have been a lot of meme coins out recently that have been absolutely obliterated by this correction because obviously they have no fundamental utility, so there's no reason for anyone to hold them really. Basically, apart from maybe, you know, a small hedge for some potential hype, and also, you know, just basically holding it either for a joke or trying just to make money solely from the hype. But if they don't have any fundamental utility in times like this, they are going to get absolutely smashed. But we do think Vechain long term is still a winner. We still think that if this bull run can continue like we believe that it can, and Bitcoin does pick itself up in the next week or so, we do still think Vechain can easily get over $1 or $2, depending on the pump that we see in the next few, basically in the next few weeks. We're just waiting and seeing for now. We're not trying to get anyone's hopes up, but we're not trying to put anyone down either. We're trying to allay some fears. This was a very large correction, but it does seem as though there was a heavy amount of manipulation involved, and the price action recently has been fairly positive. So it really does remain to be seen what's going to be happening with the bull market, but we basically don't want anyone to panic. When in doubt, zoom out. Take a look at how far we've come since the start of the year for pretty much every crypto, and you'll see that you're still basically massively up if you bought at any point this year, at the start of this year or last year, on most cryptocurrencies, especially Vechain. Congratulations to everyone that bought Vechain for well below a cent. I think this is about half a cent here in November, which is an incredible entry point. You'd still be up a massive amount there. So sometimes it's important to get a good amount of perspective with the market. Obviously, the recent correction is not ideal. Everyone wants things to go up in a straight line, but this is actually, you know, this is crypto. Welcome to cryptocurrency. So that's our update for Vechain today, guys. We'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please let us know down in the comment section below. Also, make sure to hit the like button, as it helps the channel out so much. So if you're a fan of the channel, please hit the like button now. Currently, only 10% of our viewers are subbed, and we'd love to see our community continue to grow more. So please hit the big red subscribe button as well. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, please sign up to our Patreon via the link in the description below, or sign up to YouTube membership by hitting the join button right next to the sub below this video, where you can get access to our private Discord. We're going to be offering a host of additional benefits, including coin calls, and the higher tiers gain one-to-one access to us personally, as well as a look at our personal portfolio, our daily research of cryptos with massive potential, and not to mention a 100x portfolio that we're currently constructing. So please take advantage of that there. Don't forget to get 2 free stocks with Webull by signing up and then depositing $100 using our link in the description below. You can quite literally deposit the $100 and get your 2 free stocks and then withdraw the money, so there's no reason not to do that, and they could be valued all the way up to $1,600 each, but don't forget to actually deposit as well after signing up. You can also sign up to our free Telegram via the description as well. All the links are in the description for affiliate links for discounts and free crypto. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.